How do I get more?
You could just
There's a
download
little
some.
plus button. Add image, add video.
I'm admitting him now. I think. Yep, there. Just has to unmute his shit. Hello?
If he's like me, it starts
we go.
muted.
Yeah. There he is. What's up, buddy?
Is he?
How's it going?
Good. Let's see if I could turn you up.
That's good.
Do you not have no video? We don't get to see your beautiful face?
I can see him just fine.
Oh. Oh, I got an echo on my end.
It says my high CU usage is messing up the quality, apparently.
Your what? I can't. You're breaking up real bad.
What are you on, dial-up?
Yeah.
Are you hotspotting from your phone?
No. Is that better?
No.
Not even a little bit.
1 second.
Let's see if my cousin sent me a bunch of virtual backgrounds from DC Comics.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be like in the Batcave and stuff, but I haven't downloaded them yet. And I still
better.
Yeah. I think.
Yeah.
Kinda.
ABC 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're good. You're kind of like hollow-y voiced, but
that's because I'm in an unfinished house.
Oh.
That makes sense. Why is your house unfinished? I hope you didn't pay them the full amount.
Well, I think he's doing the work.
Oh,
I'm doing the work. That's why
you're not paying him anything.
Yeah, he's supposed to be working right now, but it's crappy labor.
Well, with that wall, you could add a background, and it would probably work perfectly.
Yeah, probably.
Do your thing.
It wouldn't change the echo.
No. What's up, man?
Oh, ooh, nice.
That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Northern Lights.
Yeah, we're gonna rock that today.
That's
Gus taught
cool.
me how to do it, so now I'm obsessed. I'm gonna download more.
Yeah. Look at your setup, Gus. Nice microphone.
Yeah, well, the mic on my laptop this is an old laptop, and the mic stopped working, so I had to improvise. I had all the podcast shit here, so I just decided to, do it that way. I did put the on-air sign up though.
Saw
today.
that. Not subtle.
Did you guys start drinking yet today?
I did not. I hit it real hard yesterday. I'm drinking Arnold Palmer Arizona right now.
I actually don't have anything. I have an empty cup. It's not helpful. I should wash that.
Boys. Don't you guys drink this up in where you're from?
The PBR, it's one of the. I mean, yeah.
Is it even like noon yet where you are?
No.
Does it have to be?
No.
Nope. Nobody's judging.
What's the weather like there, Chris?
It's very snowy.
Yeah.
God. Yeah, we're getting that here apparently.
We're about to get just ice fucked. It's raining right now, and then looking at the radar, it's just a giant wall of ice and snow coming.
Cold and violent.
Yeah.
We've got fluffy snowflakes, so it's gonna be snow.
This is how I imagine the difference between snow in Colorado and Wisconsin. It's like Colorado, the snow is always like cute and soft and nice, and where Wisconsin, the snow is just a fucking asshole all the time.
Yeah. I've been in a Chicago snowstorm and anything like that. Yeah, they're horrible where you guys are.
Well, last year when we were there for Thanksgiving, we went up to Red Rocks, and it was a beautiful, beautiful sunny day. Just a little crisp air. I mean, it was nice. And then all of a sudden, up over the top of that mountain, in blew Armageddon. It was awful. It got so cold and so snowy so fast. Like everybody was running out of there. It was horrible. So, I mean, Colorado does have its ugly side, I guess.
In the summertime, when you're hanging out to like at the beginning of a concert, you go pregame in the parking lot at Red Rocks, and it's like where you can like trade your Molly for your mushrooms or
Sure.
whatever. There's psychedelics all over.
It's like a farmer's market.
It's so cool. And then like those afternoon thunderstorms will just come in tearing us, and you'll be sitting there, and all of a sudden, I mean, seriously, yeah, like Gus said, in 10 minutes, it's like, holy shit, is this the end of the world? And then it just goes away. You're like, what?
And you know, I really like, what's the name of that town? Morrison? Is it Morrison down there? That's a really dope little town. I mean, it's touristy, but it's nice. Everybody was super cool.
Yeah.
You can go down and hang out there.
Most people realize you got to be nice to the tourists because that's what we are as a tourist state. So.
Yeah. And you're in Canyon City, which is another really beautiful area. That's where they filmed Man in the High Castle, right?
It's set there.
It's set there.
Filmed. They did come in and take a picture of our sign.
Oh, okay.
Kind of like Wabasha for Grumpy Old Men.
Yeah. Yeah.
They did like literally nothing. They didn't even do the ice fishing. It was in Canada.
Yeah.
Yeah. I read that book when I was in high school. I was like, oh, Canyon City, that's crazy. Like, whoever mentions this small little town. And
yeah. Trying to remember, I've had that experience. I think I was reading a book, and it was set in like Lemoore, California, or something, and they made it sound like this exotic, you know, farm agricultural, you know, with deep roots. I'm like, no, that place sucked ass. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Be real.
Totally.
The place
Well,
was
it's like
so
the
awful.
show. I may be dating myself a little bit. Well, I'm not sure I can be in this conversation, but the show Picket Fences from like the 90s was set in Rome, Wisconsin, which
I'm scared.
is a real thing, and it's not at all that like nice suburbia picket fences. Everybody loves everyone. It's just like
I'm sure now it's
like
all
fucking
meth
Boston. Yeah.
You know, did that show have the guy with the weird face?
Are you thinking of Twin Peaks?
I don't know. There was one show where there's this like red hair guy, and he has like a very, I don't know what the PC term is to
fucked up grill.
Like, whole face was just like, I don't know.
Huh.
Must not have been it though.
All I remember is Tom Skerritt from that show.
Yeah, Lauren Holly was in that too, wasn't she?
All I remember is Tom Skerritt from that show.
Okay.
I didn't watch it. Not at all.
Kristen, if Kristen were here, she loved that show. She'd be able to tell. She's at work though. She's a frontline coronavirus protector, working in the emergency room.
Are you still driving samples to and
No, Friday was my last day. I said, fuck that. I'm done.
Yeah.
Now I'm
essential worker my ass.
Now I'm doing advertising and Greek importing and Greek cooking.
Cooking?
Yeah.
In no particular order.
Yeah.
I got a new baklava recipe.
Do you?
I don't know if that's Greek. It's like Mediterranean. Does it?
Well, they all have their version of it. The Greeks, obviously, they claim everything.
Yeah.
Depending on who you talk to, they'll tell you.
Yeah. Like flaming or Opa flaming cheese, whatever the hell you call it, is not flaming cheese. It's soup.
Well,
what the hell's it called?
Saganaki
Jesus.
It's an American thing, but
yeah.
You guys have lots of Greeks up there?
We've got more. But Greg, the guy that is helping us out with our import stuff, he just opened a restaurant.
Yeah. Each Greek from like a personality standpoint is like 2.5. So yes, we have a lot.
Yeah. They do account for some big personalities. It's a lot of fun though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Our town's known for its have you ever seen the picture of all the Ku Klux Klansmen on a Ferris wheel?
No.
What?
No.
Dear Google.
Yeah.
KKK Ferris. Well, I should do it on the computer so I can actually share it if it is
Jesus.
a thing. Maybe.
Yeah. I see that picture all over. I'm always like, yeah, it's Canyon.
Is it?
So,
Oh, damn
Yeah.
drunk.
Well, between you bringing up the clan and yesterday my cousin RJ, he was drunk when we started this, and by the end of it, he was wasted. He started. He drew a. We were talking about. I can't remember what we were talking about. I got a little buzzed too, but he started. He's like he's drawing windmills, and it was just swastikas on a windmill thing. He's like, what? It's just a windmill. You guys are really putting words in my mouth here. It was. So people are going to start getting the wrong idea about this podcast, I think.
Well,
So
I
yeah.
have seen that. It's nice that they can get out and have some.
Right? Like, hey guys, let's get together and just have a good time.
It's what is that, team building?
They got probably some cotton candy down there in that little gazebo, and
You can't eat cotton candy and white
the
like that.
KKK are people too. They're just
they were
assholes.
there were no African Americans in town. They were against Italians and Catholics.
Oh well, sure.
Yeah.
I believe this is for sale.
Well,
What? Okay, let's not advertise how to buy. Yeah, $28. This is real cheap for racism. Just to show off how fucking okay.
Jesus. Okay, we can. I went when I was living in Georgia. Kristen and I went. We were going to get to know our little town, and so we went to little shops and went into one, and it had like a big poster up right at the front door that it's White Pride Year. Because it was like February when we were walking around
every year.
Yeah, and so we walk in and it's a bookstore, and they had a whole section. It was all World War II stuff, but it wasn't like memorabilia. It was like what could have been, because it had like all German Panzers and German stuff and framed pictures of Adolf Hitler for sale on the wall. I got a picture of it somewhere on my Facebook where I'm just standing there in front of it like yeah.
Sounds like a good place to do Molotov cocktail practice.
Right? Yeah.
I can think of a lot of places for that. Just burn it all down.
Yeah.
Yeah, good old Georgia.
So I don't know how to segue into anything else from that. Read any good books lately, Chris? I know you're a bit of a connoisseur of the nerddom.
The written word.
Yes, that.
I would like do a hard no.
No, like I see behind you is probably the reason why.
Yes. and the 3 kids. We have a 9-month-old. My spare time, I get the evil eye when I use spare time for anything other than cleaning.
Yeah.
Which yesterday, my buddy was trying to come over today, and I'm trying to respect social distancing. So I was like, oh, the wife would not be cool with that. I don't care.
Respect social distancing by throwing the spouse under the bus.
Yeah, and I did. And then I walked in the house, and she's like, oh, so I have a problem with that? I was like, oh, you heard? So, yeah, I got caught. She was like in the bathroom just when I was outside, next to the window.
That's funny.
Whoops. Well, sorry. So now I feel like a shit heel for.
I've got about 20 pages left in Hyperion, so I'll probably be finishing that up tonight.
Nice.
I'm wondering how they're going to wrap it all up, because there's still a lot of stuff up in the air. And
there's a second book. It was written as 2 books.
Oh, was it? Oh, so I'm not going to get any resolutions in the first book?
I don't know. It's actually a pretty satisfying ending.
Okay.
It reminds me of Full Metal Jacket.
Huh. Okay. Well, don't tell me anymore.
I'm not going to. I think when you actually talk to me about it later, you'll be like, oh yeah, I didn't give anything away.
Then I got this one is up next. Can you guys read? Is it backwards?
Nope, that's right.
The Resurrectionist.
The Resurrectionist. It's just a novella, but it was recommended to me. Dan, do you remember the guy named Kevin Watkins from the Springfield, Missouri market?
I do. I remember the name, and obviously I remember the market, but I'm blanking on what he looked like.
The sleeve tattoos.
Oh yeah.
He killed himself.
Huge KC fan.
A couple days ago. Yeah.
Jesus.
But he's the one who recommended this to me. This book. We were Facebook friends, and because he loved Wu-Tang Clan. In fact, we bonded over Wu-Tang and the Humpty Dance, of all things, and Deftones. And I had just the Thursday before he died, which was a Saturday. like last Saturday, I texted him and said, "Hey man, I finally got that Resurrectionist book. I'm looking forward to it." And I told him all about Hyperion, and he was like, "Oh, sweet, bro. I need to pick that up too. That'd be awesome." And then like the next day, like everything on Facebook was like, "Oh, my brother died," and blah blah blah. And it took a long time to figure out what happened. Holy shit, just like that. So, but I'm still gonna read the book he recommended. So, not to bring
I think
down the
I think I
conversation.
remember him. I was trying to look him up here, but I might be thinking of the wrong person. Huh. That's too bad.
Really awesome, dude. He quit radio to be the general manager at a tattoo store, and he started writing comic books. And they actually had a comic book series called Graveyard Slaughter. He wrote horror comics.
Yeah, I'm looking at that right now. Okay, so that is him.
Yeah.
Okay.
And yeah, he sucks. Check on your
Oh,
friends.
right. I got a buddy who I won't name names, of course, but is taking care of himself right now for that same kind of issue. So respect the struggle. Uh, Chris, I'm curious. Back to books here. If you this isn't the first book in the series, but damn it, backgrounds. Okay, I'm fucking it up. All right, let's turn the background off. Try again with the choose virtual none. You can see my ugly ass basement now. There we go.
Is that Shiner? You switch to
What?
Shiner Bach?
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, Jesus.
Finished my fast.
Like, who punched you? Is it?
Ancillary Sword.
Yeah, it's not the first one in the Ann Leckie series, but I don't have the first one in front of me. I've got like 4 series I'm in the middle of right now that I can't attach myself to any of them. But
Can you dissect that title?
what?
Ancillary Sword?
Yeah, Ancillary Justice is the first one. And then yeah, actually I've got the first one right there, and then there's Ancillary Sword and Ancillary something else. But it's like, I don't know, it's super weird. Like, pronouns are non-existent in the entire book. It's like, so everybody's she. So I was like halfway through the book before I realized, like, anatomically, one of the main characters was a dude. I'm like, well, that explains so much. I'm like, that chick was an asshole for the book. But it's, I don't know, it was interesting.
We bought a
So
kid.
I have not picked up the second one yet.
We bought a book for one of my kids that we didn't know was like a non-gendered one either. And I mean, it started off using pronouns, but then one of the characters came out as a they, and then it switched to theys, and it's for like first graders. And I was like, I mean, it's just so unique to read something that says they all the time.
Right. If you watch the show Billions, they do that quite a bit in there for one of the main characters who requests that be their pronoun, and it's interesting to get used to, but after a few episodes, it's like, oh, you know.
But the same token, though, I've noticed that when I read something that was obviously written in like the 1950s, like a lot of the sales training we did at the radio station was very antiquated, and it was written by like the guys that were in polyester suits and chain smoking in a room, and it was like, when the salesman goes in, he has to talk to the sales manager, and what he says, everything is he. And it's striking. I mean, it really stands out especially when you're used to seeing things when they'll either do he or she, or they go back and forth between the two, or do non-gendered. Now it's actually starting to that really stands out to me when everything is just he.
Yeah, like the Bible.
I wrote a like a 1-act play about Lot and his daughters from the Old Testament, and at one point there's a line in there I put something like Dad didn't even give us names, like Lot's daughters, they're just Lot's daughters. There's no they don't give them any. Where did Dan go?
I don't know. Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, you're doing good, man.
Cool.
Dan just fucked off out of here.
I was thinking about, so my daughter has this thing with tuna. Like, she just won't eat tuna, even though she likes it every time she has it.
Uh-huh.
And I was thinking about like faking the apocalypse so that she had to eat tuna because it'd be all that we had left. So doing this month long, they're coming for us. We gotta hide. Like all you can eat. That's all there is tuna. And then like just get her so used to it, and then be like, jokes on you. Everything's normal, but now you eat tuna, don't you?
That would actually be funny. I should do that with Maggie. Maggie doesn't like to eat a lot of things, but onions are one of her things. She would just she won't eat onions. She'll pick them out of sauce if I put them in a sauce.
Dude,
And huh?
yeah. There was a guy, Buchanan, in the Navy that told them he was allergic to onions. So you know how you get sent TAD to go work in the galley?
Yeah.
Well, since he was TAD, they wouldn't let him work in the galley because he was allergic to onions. So he got this really cushy TAD job. And then I was his like night check LPO as a third class.
Yeah.
And one day he was eating sun chips. And I was like, dude, those have onion powder. He's like, no, it's cool. I can eat. I'm like, it's the same thing. And he's like, no, I can't eat onions. Onion powder's fine. I'm like, you're not actually allergic, you asshole. Yeah, Buchanan.
That's pretty awesome, though. I mean, if you could get away with it, I mean, wouldn't you have to go to medical and get a chit?
Dude, no, you just tell them, and they're like, okay, you're allergic. That's what you should tell Anthony.
Yeah.
He's allergic to onions.
Yeah. I'm allergic to onions and dish soap for some reason.
Yeah, that's great.
Although, didn't you say when you were cranking on the ship that it wasn't a bad gig? I mean, apart from the backbreaking labor, you just kind of put on your headphones and did your stuff?
Mostly I stole food for the squadron. So when I'd put out the cereal in the morning, I'd steal all the Cinnamon Toast Crunch. And when we'd get our big shipments, nobody got cheesecake but VFA 25. I'll tell you that. The whole ship. And yeah, I mean, I was like just pilfering. I didn't even care. Like even people I didn't like in VFA 25 got goods.
Well, that's a good way to endear yourself to everybody.
Yeah, it works.
When we were in Afghanistan, we had a guy that one of our SKs. He just he's like from the West Indies somewhere, and he could weasel his way into anything. And I remember he would go and be there when the planes came in, and like the big cargo jets.
Yeah.
And he would always come back with all the good stuff. Like he had like a case of baby back pork ribs.
Ooh.
He's like, I don't know what we're gonna do with these. We didn't have anything to cook up, so the airframers had to like weld up a grill, and we roasted these things on the grill, and he had all of those British barbecue sauce, and like he was bringing all. It was great. It was really awesome. He'd get us pop anytime we wanted, and the only thing he could not get was tobacco, like the cigarettes, because those were such high commodities out there.
Yeah.
I think they gave those to the Marines first.
One time I was down there and we discovered they were gonna like just deep six all these pizzas that were like just a day expired.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck this. And I like worked really hard to like sneak and get them. And I like had this box of pizzas uncooked. And I like walked up to the line check. I was like, look, I got pizzas, guys. And they're like, how are we gonna cook those? So then we spent like 20 minutes walking around. We finally found a shop with a microwave.
Oh, geez.
Microwaving them. And we made a deal with the guys in the shop that they would get some pizzas too. And we all like just out of spite like sat there and ate our doughy like melted cheese dough pizza, like just to be like, yeah, we're eating pizza out of our own free will right now. Like nobody said anything. We just like ate it.
Didn't it always seem like that's basically all the military was just trying to find a way to express yourself on your own terms?
Yeah.
Even if it was something stupid like eating shitty pizza that you microwaved.
It was in a way like having control over your own situation. Yeah.
Even as I advanced, when I got up to chief and stuff, it was like, man, I just would like to once just do something for me, and that's when I realized it was time to get out, because you can't be doing that when you're underway or whatever, I guess.
Right.
You're supposed to be a leader.
What do you think? What do you think happened to Dan?
I don't know. I texted him. I wonder what the hell's happened. I hope his house didn't blow up or something.
Did I mentioned Easter? Maybe you forgot until I said it's Easter, and he was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, no, he's decidedly non-religious, so I don't think that had anything to do with it.
Oh, that's good. Yeah, that's weird. Just dropped right off.
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe he's got sometimes he has internet issues at his house, so maybe that was Colorado.
It's called strawberry lemonade.
Oh, is it? I'm having regular lemonade and iced tea.
Yeah, they're like delivering weed, not in my town, because this one asshole thought that we shouldn't be a recreational town, and all the old people agreed. So we're not recreational; we're just medicinal. But they'll deliver to medicinal patients, which is super cool.
You got those headaches? You taking care of your headaches right now?
Dude, so if you get your medicinal though, you get looked at by the ATF, I guess, and or something. I don't know. They
What's that?
Alcohol, tobacco, firearms.
Oh,
They're
ATF. I thought you said APS for some reason. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so you get on a list and then you can't get your concealed carry.
Really?
Yeah, because they're like, well, he's obviously smoking weed if he's got a medicinal card.
Yeah, it's so retarded, man.
Right. But they want you to be like eating Percocets all the time.
Right. Or I took down a half a bottle of Irish whiskey last night. How is that any better?
Right.
Oh,
Yeah, totally.
There's Dan.
Is he back?
Yeah, he should be popping up here in a second.
Oh, there he is. Hey, he's got the stratagem marketing
He's
logo.
repping the logo. What happened to you?
Fucking internet.
Oh.
Upgrade to 400 meg because why not? And apparently that just means it flies off the rails at any given time.
Evidently.
Yeah. No need to catch me up. I'll
No.
just jump in.
We sat in silence actually the whole time.
Yeah, we were just waiting.
Ominous silence.
Chris, what kind of pipe was that? That was a pretty good look. That was a pretty cool looking pipe.
So this is a bubbler.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Oh, hello.
Put your water in there.
Yeah.
And then, it's kind of like a mini bong.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if I can share mine or not. It's upstairs anyway.
You probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
It hasn't been used, so it's not technically.
Oh, I thought you were something else. I was talking to my cousins yesterday about weed, and one's in Virginia, and they said they just decriminalized there. And
yeah, I saw that.
In Wisconsin, I looked it up while we were online here, and first offense, you can get 6 months in jail and like a $5,000 fine.
It's a misdemeanor, right?
Misdemeanor. Second offense is a felony, any amount.
Yep.
Up to 6 years?
Yeah, for a Class H, it's up to 6 years.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Wisconsin, baby.
We just decriminalized mushrooms in Denver, and then they defelonized all drugs in the state like 2 days ago.
Nice.
You cannot get a felony for having drugs, but we're a Democrat. We got a Democratic governor, or a Democrat governor, and House and Senate. So,
do you have Hickenlooper as your governor?
Oh no, it's Jared Polis now. Hickenlooper's running for Senate. He's gonna that seat.
That's like the new like fail up. Like, I'm tired of being governor and I'm probably not gonna win, so I'll just go join the Senate now.
Hickenlooper just got tipped term limits. He was mayor of Denver, then governor.
Oh, you've got term limits on the governor. Got it.
Senate, yeah, and he's gonna win that Senate seat, and so Colorado's gonna be all blue in the Senate. Should be cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
State Senate or
no?
Yeah.
National.
Okay.
The
We're
big house, the big
we're
show.
so gerrymandered here. It's ridiculous. They redrew the districts, but when the first
2010.
time Walker was elected, and so like literally the Democrats won like some like 62% of the vote, but they still are underrepresented. Underrepresented, repre,
Underrepresented.
underrepresented. Okay,
But they did it.
in by by a pretty substantial margin. So
It's like 37 to 73
yeah,
or something
ridiculous.
absurd. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I was looking at that because what the hell did you guys have? Oh, it was the
Supreme Court.
yeah, so crazy.
We're getting. I mean, sadly, I'm nothing surprises me anymore with those assholes.
Right.
The way they do business, and it's maddening because there's no nobody's being genuine about what their motives are. I could almost respect it if they're like, you know what, we're in power. Fuck you. This is what we're doing. But
Right.
they do it under this disingenuous guise of, oh, freedom. It's because freedom that we're trying to save your freedom by taking it away. And it's like,
The
because
Constitution. The Constitution. Fucking.
there's no nobody's being on the up and up. And it's easy to say, I guess, looking at it fairly objectively, I guess, if we to say, if the shoe were on the other foot, how would I be reacting if it were Democrats doing this? I would like to think that I'd be just as outraged, but I don't know. Maybe I would be. I doubt it. But so does that make it any better? I don't know. That's why my whole plan now is straight up Farnham's freehold. I want to go build a bunker somewhere. Buy an old missile silo.
If we're being genuine about it, the Democrats, that whole like, what if the Democrats were doing it, would you be saying the same thing? No, because the Democrats wouldn't be doing it, and not because they have a higher morality than others, just because they're not that fucking smart. Like you say, if the Republicans would just be unabashed about it, that'd be fine. It would.
No.
Democrats are just pissed because they didn't think of it first.
You have to look at the Democrats as the centrists who want nothing to change.
Right.
You look at it that way, then it's like, oh, they just don't do anything because they don't want anything to change. And when they take a little, that just becomes their new normal.
Right.
Like, oh, we're not changing nothing, guys. So
meet
even
the
like
boss, same as the old boss.
Right? It's like that corporate atmosphere where it's like the Democrats are the person that's 5 to 10 years away from retirement and doesn't want to adopt the new system. Like, why? Why do I have to change? I don't wanna. So it's just the micromanagers versus the hipsters.
Yeah, but whatever. We'll see. We'll see how it all shakes out.
Yeah, politics are stupid.
Yeah.
It's so dumb. It makes me most furious because of how much attention I pay and the very
Right?
fact that
Why can't I just not care?
Yeah. And I can do nothing except just be mad. Basically.
Right? It's very frustrating, or I don't want to say emasculating, but what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know, all of that. Somewhere in between those two words. Discouraging,
Yeah.
that's one. Disenfranchising.
I mean, that's a literal one.
Yeah. Oh well. That's why they make the medicine, I guess.
Which medicine? All of it?
All of it.
Okay.
Whatever I happen to have in front of me.
Well, let's talk about what we have in front of each other. No, let's not do that.
Yeah. So you're at power company, Chris? Is that what you do now?
Yeah. Well, yes. I work for the utility.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm like thinking like how much. I'm technically not supposed to smoke weed, but I don't think anyone's gonna listen to. Although I think you guys have this power company as your power provider.
Excel?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, I doubt that they check into every use of their power.
But just don't say my last name. It's fine.
Okay.
plus my first name is fake or whatever. But yeah, I designed the power grid
Nice.
in a sleepy town, and yeah, it's pretty good. I can't complain. The best part about it is there's no management at my facility. It's so small.
That's
So
cool.
yeah, and I, as long as if it remains that way, I will stay there forever.
Are you actually in a plant, or are you in like an office somewhere?
In the office, I was working at a coal power plant as a operator,
Yeah.
and I think they hired me because like Navy experience, because it's like just like working on a ship. It's just way bigger. And
Oh, I know it. When I was working for Georgia Power Southern Company, we were doing those electrostatic precipitators, and all those power plants in Georgia and Alabama. And I remarked about that all the time. Like when you were up on the roof, up on the very top of those precipes, it was just like being on board a ship, except
Yeah.
I mean, no water, but all the steel and noise,
Valves
dirtiness, and
Yeah.
shit bags walking around.
Dude, the best part is all of those guys, that whole power plant, everyone's just trying to justify why coal should exist.
Yeah.
So they're all just like, I'm like, you guys, whatever. I'm not going to argue about this, but you guys, coal,
Yeah.
this is going away.
We got 300 years left of coal. Well, yeah, that's if we like don't add a single person to the earth. We can have it for 300 years.
Man, it's just a crazy place, though. Yeah, it was like we generated almost 2,000 megawatts,
Yeah.
which is a lot of power. And what's funny is they built it in Pueblo because they needed another power plant for Denver, but there were already too many in Denver, so they just built it in shitty Pueblo, and all the power lines just go straight to Denver.
Yeah.
Supplies Denver. So
I was looking at the grid actually just last week for their graph of what where all their energy comes from, and they had a nugget on there that was talking about the number of households they can serve, and it can serve, and it's like 15 to 17% of the entire United States, and with one company. Which,
yeah,
it doesn't sound like a lot, but when you consider the size of it, that's a lot of people being served by one particular company.
Was it probably XL's one of the biggest, and Duke has got to be huge.
Duke is the biggest.
Yeah.
And then we have 8 states. So yeah, Wisconsin, Minnesota, North Dakota,
Mm-hmm.
and Texas, Colorado, New Mexico, a couple others.
Okay.
Yeah, it's wild. But it is interesting if they do get rid of a coal power plant like as large as ours. It's like, where the hell? I don't know. There might be like rolling brownouts in 10 years. It's probably a good idea to get solar panels on your house.
I was just looking at the Project Google thing the other day, and I don't understand. Basically, they're saying I would have to cover every inch of my roof in solar panels in order to cover my usage, which just seems like a lot. I feel like 6 on my self garage roof would be fine, but I don't know. I don't understand how these things work.
Are you going to get a battery bank though?
I would like the Tesla Powerwall or something.
Well, if you're going to have a solar system, you'd want battery, and then you would charge your batteries, and then you run your house off that, right?
Then you wouldn't need as many solar panels.
Right. I think that's the issue, is that you don't have any storage. If you had storage,
maybe that's what they were doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was talking to a guy who ran a company in town here that was basically saying the average house needed at least 6 panels, but that should be enough. And I'm sure he was factoring in the battery bank and that. So.
Yeah, that's what you want batteries. It's such a mature conversation. All of a sudden, we're talking about next thing. We'll talk about the price of energy.
That's because I'm back.
No, the next thing we'll be doing is dick jokes. That's usually how these things devolve.
First person to flop theirs on their laptop, I'm out.
Yeah.
Mine's not big enough to do that. So,
She said.
The show with all the Fast and the Furious is my favorite so far. It made me a fan.
God, and even still, the best part of that entire podcast we lost because the technology fucking damn it.
Yeah, You've had 3 episodes with technology issues so far, right? Like
Yeah.
that one.
I guess his laptop's a little touchy.
Yeah.
It's good though. Like I'm not making fun. I think it's great. Like I thought it was really funny in the Fast and the Furious. You're like, oh, we lost all that. I was like, oh, what? Like I cracked up. I was laughing my ass off actually. So it was good.
Yeah, no, that was probably the most fun one to record too. Just because Allie's great. She's so much fun to goof off with. And we're trying to set up something with her and her boyfriend now. We're gonna play Dungeons and Dragons on the podcast. And in fact, I got the dice sitting right here.
Have you ever played before?
I've never played, no.
Oh yeah, lots.
You've played, Dan?
Oh yeah, quite a bit.
He's gonna be the DM.
Gus in my job in the Navy is considered the Dungeons and Dragons job.
Yeah, that was always the joke.
But it's true. On the ship, everybody that was an AT, they had this case of books that they would bring. It was like this encyclopedia set on like setting up characters and shit. And the whole AT shop did that. And I was like, what? Like, you guys are the stereotype.
See, any shop I was in was never like that. We were always the ones that were. I mean, all we did was drink and carouse and listen to angry white boy music. You know, that was
Limp Bizkit.
Fred Durst's really angry.
He can be. I suppose he could be. He was a sailor. He was.
What?
In the Navy. Yeah, he was in the Navy.
That's funny. I wonder what his rate was.
I'll bet it was something like AO.